So hey everyone, let's get started from Entamoeba histolica 1. So Entamoeba histolica is a protozoan parasite in the large intestine. So now, very important point to be noted. I'll tell you. See, Entamoeba histolica in the large intestine causes amoebiasis. This is amoebic dysentery. So now Salmonella typhi, which causes typhoid, enters through the small intestine, whereas an Entamoeba histolica enters through the large intestine. So now hope you understand how we should differentiate it. Fine. And also we can differentiate between this pneumonia and common cold. Pneumonia affects the alveoli of the lungs, whereas common cold affects not the lungs but the nose and the respiratory passage. Fine. So hope you understand how to differentiate while learning, right? So the symptoms of the disease include constipation, abdominal pain, cramps. We call this we say as muscle cramps, right? So the muscle would cramp due to lack of oxygen, right? So this is a muscle cramps. Stools means a motion with excess mucus and blood clots. Why blood clots? So this entire vessel, right? It would uh, deteriorate the linings of the intestine, right? It will deteriorate the intestinal walls, because of which bleeding occurs. That's why blood clots are seen in the stools and with the excess mucus. Next point to be noted is the carrier. House flies are act as the mechanical carriers of Entamoeba histolica. Fine, very important point. House flies act as their carriers. House flies. So note this point. Just mark this point. This is a very important point to be noted. So the transmission, they transmit the house flies transmit the parasite from fecus of the infected person to the food and food products, thereby contaminating them. Drinking water and food contaminated by the fecal matter are the main source of infection. So drinking water and food contaminated by the fecal matters are the main source of infection, just like typhoid, right? Yes. Now the next one, the fifth one. I'm sorry. The fifth one. Yes. Ascariasis, the common roundworm, and Ucheria, the common filarial worm. So we have to know what is Ascariasis is the common roundworm. Ucheria, the filarial worm, are some of the helminths which are known to be pathogenic to man. So now let's learn about ascariasis. The intestinal parasite causes ascariasis. So the symptoms of the disease include internal bleeding inside our body. Fine. Internal bleeding due to rupture of organs. Internal bleeding occurs to when there is wound or some rupture in our organs. Fine. The muscular pain, fever, anemia. Anemia means lack of blood. Fine. And blockage of the intestinal passage. The eggs of the parasite are excreted along with the feces of the infected person, which contaminate the soil, water, and plants. So a healthy person occurs the infection through the contaminated water, vegetables, and fruits, etc. Fine. So now the next one. Which area? Oh, sorry. So the next one, which area? Oh, yeah. So which area Bancrofty and which area Malai? Which area Bancrofty and which area Malai? Note this point, very important causative agents. Fine. The filarial worms cause a slowly developing chronic inflammation of the organs in which they live for many years. Usually, the lymphatic vessels of the lower limbs and the disease causing and the disease is called uh, elephantiasis and or filariasis. So the chronic inflammation of organs, usually the lymphatic vessels of the lower limb. Mark this point. The usually the lymphatic vessels of the lower limb, that's why the leg gets swollen. So we have to know why the legs are swollen, because of the blockage in the lymphatic vessels of the lower limb. And the disease is called lymphangiasis or filariasis. The genital organs are also affected, resulting in gross deformities. The pathogens are transmitted through a healthy person through the bite of female mosquito vectors. So now there would be a question arising in your mind: why are diseases always caused by female mosquitoes? Won't it be caused by male mosquitoes? So there is a very interesting answer for this. The female mosquitoes, right? They feed on our blood to nourish the eggs developing in them. So the proteins in our blood are required by the female mosquitoes for nourishing their eggs. So now understand, most of the mosquitoes biting you are female mosquitoes. They require blood for nourishing their eggs. Whereas this male mosquitoes, right, they would feed on the sap of the plant. They would feed on the plant sap.